I bought a Yogi Bow, by the way.
It's a Yogi, bro.
Yogi Bow. It's like a beanbag.
See,
It's like a super duper
the blue
beanbag.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still wrapped in plastic. We have to. We're gonna
You
vacuum.
you can unbag it on camera.
No, I should. Yogi Bow unboxing. And it's through a clear plastic bag. That's fucking priceless. But I'm tired. I don't want to do that right now.
All right. What were we talking about?
I've been recording most of this. We haven't started the broadcast though.
Okay, because I need water. I forgot to get some.
All right, go ahead, get one.
I'm being unprofessional right now. Thank you. We have a mini fridge in the office. Did you know that? Do you have a mini fridge?
No.
You should get one.
Stop telling me how to live my life.
I can go.
You've reached the technological limits of your device. All right, hold on. And welcome to Space Chicken, the podcast that has a larger stable of correspondence than I originally let on. Today we are taking on fuck these fucking guys and give us back our money. Joining me for the first time in a long time is actually my brother, the guy starring in V for Vendetta, Ralph. Say hi, Ralph.
Hello.
All right, so what we're talking about today, specifically, if you're watching this on the YouTubes and not listening to it, there's two game logos up. One is Infinite Crisis, and one is Dawngate, and these are two MOBAs, multiplayer online battle arena games. So just a quick rundown on the MOBA scene. For those of you who know, there's only one MOBA I actually truly enjoy, and that's Smite, and I'm kind of worn out on Smite anyway. But these are the more classic top-down MOBAs, right?
Yeah.
Is that what these are? These are the more
Like
classic
Dota,
top-down
LOL.
MOBA, Dota, or Han, or LOL. I am not a fan of the top-down. I'm not a fan of any of those games. I gave them a try. The community was way too toxic for me to give a shit about. And part of the reason that I'm going off Smite is because I think all those assholes migrate to Smite, and they're ruining that community too. Now, the term MOBA, it's taking on kind of a different thing. Again, the MOBA was originally a mod for Warcraft. That turned into like this cool thing that people did awesome stuff with, allegedly. And what was a MOBA was top down, turned into third person, right? Which was the Smite, third person over the camera field of view. And then there's this other MOBA, this thing claiming to be a MOBA in early access on Steam called Fractured Space, which is supposed to be a spaceship MOBA, except there's no creeps or minions, depending on the vernacular you're using. And there's not towers per se. There's just like control points you have to get. There's only one buff camp. And then you just have to invade the base. But it's a 5v5 with 2 lanes, and they're calling that a MOBA now. And this is something that happened on the MMO scene, where the MMOs was this thing where you stood and just like press buttons, and it had to be the RPG thing. And now a game like Elite Dangerous is considered an MMO, which is weird because the RPG elements are very. They're more on the role play more than the leveling up aspect of it. It's more outfitting a ship. It's all very complicated. But the things are, but these two MOBAs shut down apparently, and I did not know because again I find a top-down MOBA to be terrible. But my brother who got me into MOBAs or tried to get me into MOBAs and was just like everyone else and yelled at me when I don't know what the fuck I was doing instead of teaching, mentoring, sponsoring me into the world of MOBA so that I would stick on and become a grandmaster the way I'm in Smite. I'm not a Smite grandmaster.
Well, I got into MOBAs, as you said earlier, to be a part of that toxic community. I want to be competitive and call 13-year-old retards.
So that's where you would have. So I need you to explain to me why I'm supposed to be upset from a game that, according to this banner right here, closed June 2nd, 2015, and why I should be talking about it in 2016, and what the hell is Dawngate?
Well, I wasn't able to get on a podcast until 2016, number one. Number two, it's because to this day, people aren't actually discussing what happened. If you go onto the IGN, Forbes, what's that? What are you doing? What is that?
Just keep talking.
Okay. You go onto all these gaming journalist websites. It's my first time. Relax. They're not actually discussing what happened, why it happened, and the response with the community. It's just a very simple, this is the name, opening date, closing date. That's it. There's no comments from It's not journalism. They're just reporting headlines with very brief descriptions. And as someone that was there when it happened, when it ended, and it was a part of the massive frenzy that occurred afterwards that tried to get their money back, I know what people were discussing. So it released officially as a game, opened on Steam, which it just seems bizarre that people will develop their own game, create their own website, and then release something on GOG or on Steam. It sort of seems like a bad sign, if you have to start branching out to sell your game. That's just my opinion. That was March 26th of last year, 2015. On June 2nd, 2015, they announced that they were closing, and it shut down August 14th, 2015.
So this game only ran for 6 months?
Yes. Oh, well, like in open. Like this was, March, April, May, June, July, August? Yeah, 6 months of actually being... Listen, I'm paranoid. I just got to make sure that it's 6 months. Okay. Because it doesn't feel like 6 months. When you're in a frenzy trying to get your money back, it doesn't feel... Like, that's 6 months? That doesn't mean anything when half of that time all of this is going to be gone in 3 months. So, this is what they did. Anyone that bought anything after March 19th, they got their money back, regardless of how much they spent. But that was only because of Steam's policy. They could get their money back through Steam. That's it. Anyone that bought anything a day before, a year before, you get nothing, regardless of how much you spent. Even if you bought in on one of their founders packs, which I think I bought in the end of 2014, I got a $100 founders pack, and I must have spent maybe another $100 on the in-game currency.
Okay.
So around $200 I spent on this, which is probably less than what I spent on League. I haven't spent much on Smite. Han was just a $30 buy, and then you get all the heroes. I never felt the need to buy skins there. So I was so happy that I love DC. I love DC more than Marvel, even though I know DC is a shittier franchise. I know. It's the shittier franchise. But I love the heroes.
Call DC Comics Batman and Friends.
So when this was released, I was so happy. So I was like, yeah, I'll become a founder. I'll support you guys. That'll be great. And then it released, and there was this massive influx of players, and it was great. Then 3 months later, they announced, we're shutting down. But not just we're shutting down. Put the picture up. Just throw the picture up. Go ahead. This is on their main website. Front page. Infinite Crisis closing. August 14th, 2015. By Anonymous. Who the fuck is Anonymous? This is your game. Step forward. Take responsibility of what's happening. There's no name on this. And then later they had a forum rep named, I think, Celestia, who was a huge fucking shill for this game, who did so much crowd control on the forums to get people to calm down and stop freaking out. That's the only reason I remember her name. But she only went forward and made the announcements on the Steam forums. I found this out on a gaming forum that was just discussing the game closing. I had to find out because I had completely stopped playing. And this is why. It had these massive dips of activity where there'd be certain maps that were locked, and I'll get to that later. And I'm not a fan of some maps. If you've played League, then you know you have I think they actually took this map out of the game a couple of weeks ago. But it's basically a ring. It's territories. 5 points on a ring with a big jungle in the middle. And you gain points as you hold the territories over time. It had that map. It had a 2-lane map. It had a 3-lane map and a 1-lane map. And maybe something else that I'm not quite remembering. But what they did was they would rotate out these entire maps where other games wouldn't do that. It was just, here are our maps, play them. Which I would understand during maybe early beta, maybe early open beta too. But when the game is getting close to release date and there is a date set, You're giving me a face like you disagree.
No. It's not that I disagree, but what that sounds like is like when a developer goes in and made this stuff. Like, hey, I made this, and then I made this, and I made that, and then it's like, all right, gaming community, decide which one you like the most, and then they're gonna go, oh, we don't like this shit, we're not gonna use it, and they're like, but I worked really hard on this. This is my pet map. This is the look. It has these cool tunnels or whatever the hell it is that they decided to put in, and they're like, yeah, no, it's probably awesome, but we don't like it. We like these other ones better. And they're like, I'll solve this problem. This week you must play this map, for this is the map that I designed, and all will bow before my map design powers, for I was paid money and did not watch my kids grow up in order to design this map. That's what it feels like. They used to do it. Last game I played like that was Halo, actually. I want to say it was 3? Halo 3? Like, you could vote on the map that was coming next. But not all of the maps were available, so you were limited as to which maps you could play. Like, you couldn't just play the remake of... oh, Christ. What was that map from fucking Halo with the 2 bases?
Capture the Flag?
No, not the game type.
Blood
the
Gulch?
map. Blood Gulch. Like, you couldn't just say, hey, I want to play the Blood Gulch map. The remake of the map over and over and over again. You're like, no, you play Blood Ghost this time, so now you're going to pick between these 3 maps. And it's like, oh, I don't want to play these 3 maps. I want to play the other one. And then they go, well, then play a custom game, faggot. You're going to play the games we tell you to play. I mean, that was kind of off-putting, but at the same time, like, it's... I'm personally a guy who likes a variety in all of the stuff, so that, you know, but you're telling me that the player base would simply go, oh, these are the maps this week? See you next week.
Yeah, it's similar, but it's not the same because you're playing a game type on different maps, and that was all those games. Halo, I don't know if COD. I think COD did it, right?
I don't know. I stopped playing Call of Duty fucking after
Battlefield
Modern Warfare.
also did it because they're pretty much the same. They did this thing where you pick your game type, you go in a game lobby, and then you vote for the map. So you know you're going to play this. You're going to play 5v5, headshots only. No shields, no HUD, So you pick your game type, and then you choose the map. With this is different. The game type is dependent on the map. So if you want to play the 5-lane, the 5v5 3-lane, it's locked. You can't play it this week. There's only 2-lane or big ring.
Whoa! So they locked game modes out? Because that's like in a game mode.
Yes.
So I get that in a MOBA, like the game mode and the map are hooked. So says the game mode and the game map are hooked. So they didn't have like 2 3-lane maps.
No.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I don't think I've ever played
that makes sense. No one ever has 2 different 3-lane maps, but
which is why I say that.
That's what it sounded like you were saying. Like, oh, there were multiple 3-lane maps. Which actually would be pretty cool because I mean, you kind of get tired of the same fucking 3-lane.
Yeah, but from like a MOBA perspective, when you say a map, you're also saying this is the game type. You're saying Summoner's Rift. You only play that game type on Summoner's Rift, or whatever Smite has, the equivalent. But Smite has an extensive list of game types and corresponding maps. But there's only one map to each game type, as far as I can recall.
Yeah. Okay. Well, 3v3 Joust and 1v1 Duel is the same map. That's the only game type that shares a map.
The 1 lane with the side tunnels.
It's different now. They changed it for season 3. I'm not gonna catch you up if you haven't been playing, but they changed it for season 3. But yes, that map from season 1 and 2.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me jump over quick to Dawngate. Dawngate was actually canceled before Infinite Crisis. That's the one in the bottom right-hand corner. This was back in 2014.
Hold on. Before we leave fucking Batman and Friends Walk with Creeps, you played...
We're going back.
But just so that I'm clear, you played as DC characters, right? So you played as Batman, the Riddler...
Yeah, it had that whole multiverse cover where it's like all these universes are colliding. That's what the Crisis is. I'm not actually too sure about the comic storyline.
I know DC. You don't know about like Crisis on Infinite Earths and when the Flash went back and reset the goddamn universe so that they can start the new 52. No, all
I'm
right.
actually not that big of a comic fan, but I
DC
like.
fan. Batman and Friends. I got you.
I love
I
Batman and
got you.
Friends.
You love the Flash? You're a big Cyborg fan?
If I had to pick my
Huh?
favorite, it'd be Green
Huh?
Lantern.
Huh? Huh? Doing chest bumps with Martian Manhunter? Is
Mm.
that who you're hanging out with? Huh?
I know this is for another channel, but have you seen that fucking trailer for the DC Avengers? It looks like garbage. I'm so
DC,
pissed off. But back on topic.
DC Avengers.
Essentially, what you're doing is you're playing.
Just real quick. Someone's gonna rage in the comments. The Justice League was before the Avengers. Yeah, but we're talking about movies, stupid. I'm just preempting that comment because every time someone goes, DC's doing the Avengers, and someone always goes, the Justice League was formed in 1954, and the Avengers copied them in 1958. Where it's like, shh.
You know, you kind of sound like that guy right now.
What? No, it's just I've been.
You know your shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I was just I don't care.
Are you making up dates? Is that it?
Yeah, I just made up
okay.
days. I have no idea what days that actually happened, but I'm just saying, whatever.
Okay, so what in the game, you can see in that picture right there, there's a Batman front and center, Batman far right, and Batman far left. From left to right, that's Nightmare.
Well, that's Man-Bat, though.
He's Man. Well, that's not Man-Bat because Man-Bat is not Bruce Wayne. That's Nightmare Batman from the Nightmare verse. And then on the right, you have Gaslight Batman, and then center, plain Batman. And then you have actually two Green Lanterns. Left one is Arcane from the Arcane universe, and then the right one's just plain Green Lantern.
So for the record, right? Mm-hmm. When I call the Batman and Friends, this is clearly Batman and Friends.
Yeah.
I mean, they went multiverse, and they went 3 Batmans. They didn't go 2 Batmans. We're gonna go 3 Batmans and 2 of everybody else. But
well, here's the thing. Let me just see if I can pull this up from memory because I was really into this game. Massive hard on. The universes were ours. They're just the original one. I think it's 313 is the original universe. Then there was Arcane, Nightmare, Gaslight, and Mecha were the 5 universes. It allowed them to make the same Superman differently.
Right.
Yeah, you had your original Superman. He was a bruiser. You had Arcane Superman. He was a support, magic caster type. You had Mecha Batman, who was a tank. He could jungle. He could be bruiser. He could also be support. You have that massive variety from this, extensive lore, which was awesome. But we had our issues that weren't actually ever discussed. During the entirety of me playing the game, I went to the forums and I saw a lot of complaints. 4 complaints stick out as a whole. This is just, from what I remember. And from worst to least, we're just going to name them off. And by worst to least, I mean, let me clarify.
Same thing?
Not the same thing. It's what I saw the most and what was most agreed upon and what was least agreed upon and what I saw the least. So what I saw the most, map locking. That was a huge deal that lost them a lot of player base. Then we have gaps and patches. There's not just, I can understand it's in development, but when you have a game that you can, we know it's dying because we can see the dips in player base with the massive queues. There's less traffic on the forums. We see it, so you have to see it. Number 3, not listening to the community. A lot of complaints about bugs and imbalances, which sort of goes back to them not releasing enough patches. Maybe they had it in the works. We just never saw it. And then finally, this is what I agree with least, not enough advertisement. Because at its pretty much from almost up until it canceled, I saw plenty of YouTube ads. And I don't watch TV, so I don't see any TV spots. But I saw all of the banners on the websites. I went to World of Warcraft websites. I saw Infinite Crisis banners. I saw the pre-video and post-video commercials for Infinite Crisis. They released videos regularly on their YouTube channel. They even had a pro scene. So maybe there wasn't enough advertisement. I saw enough for me to get into it and be interested and spend $200 like a fucking idiot.
Well, so, that's weird because it would have been backed by DC money. You know what I'm saying? And they had success in video games Not just the Arkham series, but with City of Heroes, right? Don't people still play that? And City of Villains or whatever? Like, do people still
It's
play
free
those
to
games?
play, so yes, but I want to
Yeah.
say the amount of money they're making is not. It can't be that great. It seems
No.
low quality, low budget.
Yeah, it seems, but that's making them money. And Infinite Crisis, from what you've described to me, seems to be at least seem to have been a mechanically sound MOBA.
True.
Because like the one thing that'll get you in a MOBA, like part of the reason that like I feel like Smite has any success, it being I believe #3 in MOBA land, is not just a third person perspective, but it's like, hey, you're Zeus. You know what I'm saying? And like you don't have to create lore. You know, you don't have to create a backstory. I don't have to like learn about these people. Like I know who Thor is. And if I don't know who Thor is, he's the dude from the Marvel comics, so that's even better. You know what I'm saying? But so DC World is like, oh, who are you gonna be? I want to be Green Lantern. Like you already have his background knowledge. You already know, hey, I want to shoot shit from my ring or whatever. And his powers, like, oh, do they synergize in his kit? Do they make sense? Are they consistent with the lore? And you're good to go. You don't have to figure shit out. If they go, hey, this is Fairy Princess Unicorn Rider, and you're like, who the fuck is Fairy Princess Unicorn Rider? Where did she come from? Be like, oh, well, you see, long ago in the days of yore, and you're like, oh my god, I don't care about your thing. Like, I feel like if you ask a lot of LoL players, a lot of Dota players on the character backgrounds, I think a lot of them wouldn't be able to tell you who the fuck they were. But they would be able to know that, hey, this is a good ADC. Hey, this guy is a bruiser. Hey, this is how this guy's kit works. Hey, this person over here, they synergize perfectly like this, and they got the old wombo to the combo that's going to blow up anyone who gets caught out of position. And you're like, yeah, but who are they? They'd be like, the guy with the wombo combo who will kill people they caught out of position. Nothing else matters. And I feel like there's something there, like when we talk about selling people on a game that already has an established lore and story that you don't have to I don't have to think about it. It already exists. So this sounds almost, and again, we're speculating, right? Because we don't know what happened. I'm sure if I hit the old Google, I'll get some theories from people. But it almost sounds like you guys complained, and they picked up their toys and left. And they picked up their toys with your money, son. They took your cash, and they were like, you don't like my game? You don't like my maps? You don't like my maps? You will play my maps. You don't like the fact that you have to play then I'm going to take all my maps. I'm going to take all my maps away, and you tell me where you're going to be able to play 5 Batmans on one map. I'm out. That's what it sounds like to me.
You saying that now pisses me off, because that sounds fucking cool. Having 5 Batmans versus 5 Supermans. Which is totally possible. At a certain point, you could have done that. I think they were up to 4 each.
Yeah, I mean, there were 5 universes, right? So there were 5 universes. Yeah. It would be to get
they were up to 3,
each character. Yeah, it would be to get each character to be in each role. You know, bruiser, support.
Something like that, yeah. Assassin.
Assassin.
Talking about it makes me want to play it, because I don't care. It can be a LoL clone, but with something I like more than just your own imagination. And I'll play it, and I'll pay for it.
If you're not the first something, you're a something clone. Like there's nothing that you can do about it. I mean,
by LoL, I mean some of those characters were directly ripped off. Not just 1 or 2 or 3 abilities. I'm talking about 4 abilities.
Full kits,
full kits.
Full kits.
Full kits. My favorite character in League at the time was Vi, Great Jungler. Supergirl gets released. Base World Supergirl gets released. Almost exact copy. Her passive was different, and the way her ultimate worked was different. But the ultimate was like 90%. What is
this LoL or Dota?
That's Dota.
That's Dota. Oh, I got a Dota mouse pad in one of my.
Are you using it?
Yeah, totally.
It looks big. I like. While we're showing off mouse pads. It's got
you got the old ergonomic thing going.
Yeah.
On a thing, but I also have one of these too, though.
Oh, Borderlands.
That's pretty tight. I did enjoy Borderlands 2 a lot. I didn't play any of the Extended Universe stuff, but I have them side by side, so my desk is all mousepad. Like, it's all mousepad. But anyway, I just wanted to show that, because it's like, I don't know who the fuck any of those people are. It's a mousepad full of characters. I don't know who any of them are. I
And
think
another thing,
I
just
think they're
off
all
topic,
Muppets.
slightly off topic.
Yeah.
I love new. I've played probably more than 10 MOBAs. I love playing a new MOBA because it sort of puts everybody on the ground level, you know? Unless you've got that sort of finesse where you can jump in and you're game savvy
Oh,
and you
you
know
fucking MOG
these are
Pro,
the
bro?
yeah, I mean, MOG. I'm MOG, so you jump in, you know the control set, your key bindings, just pick up a hero, start getting that sort of that habit down of, this guy does this, this is the range on that. But other than that, it's a new map, it's a new world, probably, hopefully, new mechanics. So that's why I jumped in on the Dawn Gate and the IF Crisis because LoL, I jumped in late on LoL on Dota. I'm not even gonna try Dota again because Han wasn't that great for a reason. We're not gonna get into that though. We'll bitch about that later.
Oh, I would
Back in
love to
info-
have just like a whole MOBA episode because I have a lot to say about these fucks. We can do that shit later. We can do that shit further down the line.
Okay.
But man, do you fucking people need to relax. If this is it for you, if this is what's gonna do it for you, if you lost and then you refuse to F6, fuck you. Anyway, sorry. I got off target. So let's talk about Dawn Gate because Dawn Gate apparently goes into something that we were talking about that me and the Mount Rushmore of Space Chicken were talking about early access.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
and paying for early access and how that is, in my humblest of opinions, to which I have no humble opinions, the biggest trap in the world is early access. The biggest trap in the world is early access. Like, you like this game, support it so it'll come out. But then if no one supports it, you lose your money and the game doesn't come out. So it's like catch-22. Just make a game. Take out loans.
I agree with you.
The guy from Tito Vodka did. Tito's Vodka took out loans and then just made good vodka, and now he's a famous vodka maker. So, like, if you want to be a famous game maker, take out a bunch of loans, make the game, and if it's good, you make your money back. And if it's not, your life is ruined. But that's how shit works. You don't get to steal money from me.
There was a time. Let me tell you about the first time I got burned, which was not a big deal. A game called Cube World. You ever hear of it?
No.
It was something that was trying to compete with Minecraft.
I was gonna say it sounds like a Minecraft one.
It could have done it because it was heavy in the RPG department, and I love character building. So I paid the $10, and it wasn't even on Steam. It was just sort of like how Minecraft did it back in the day. It's just, here's my one-page website. You donate, I'll send you some shady email where you can download something off of a separate website. Something like that. But the game was fun. For maybe a couple of hours. I couldn't get anybody else into it, so I was sort of on my own, sort of how Minecraft was. But it was fun because you could build your character. You had weapon skills. You had smaller blocks. Minecraft has just like fucking gigantic blocks. You could build more detailed constructs. So that pulled me in. The problem was, at the point that I had paid, maybe a couple weeks later, nobody heard from this guy. He made no updates. As you put it in the early access website or episode, it was abandonware.
It was abandonware.
He took everybody's money and fucking split.
And
nobody
split,
ever found out anything. So it was $10. I've misplaced $10 in the past, and not, you don't get broken up over it.
Look how fucking rich you are. $10. What are you gonna do?
Well, you're pissed about it for 5 minutes, being like, fuck it, it's $10.
It's a goddamn principle thing. No, you should have learned there. You should have learned at $10, you should have been like, I lost $10. I'll never do this again. Definitely not if the stakes get higher.
Yeah. I didn't learn my lesson.
No, you didn't.
So, if we're going chronologically, then Dawn Gate came around, and I loved that game. It was one of those games, unlike, League is. Well, actually, League had this weird history where they put a lot of emphasis in lore, then they didn't give a shit, and then they're trying to do it again, and they're creating all these comics, and every new character that comes out has their own backstory and a tie-in to other characters' history and shit like that. This story, from the ground up, had every character built, and even future characters built in. So, not only that, but it had fully voiced sort of bios where you click on a bio and you have like a character page that's like just that fucking big. No one wants to read that. No one wants to fucking play Morrowind again. This had fully voiced.
When Marwan came out, though, that's what you had to do.
Yeah.
All right, fuck you, WoW boy.
Listen, that was
because
tense.
I have no
I
idea
didn't
what's
wanna
going.
read.
Like, because people tell me right now that the WoW movie is or is not like consistent with the lore of the game. I wouldn't fucking know because I tried to read when we used to play together, and he used to go, "Why are you reading? Just follow the yellow dots and kill the things."
Spoiler alert! Don't watch that movie. It's trash.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that movie.
Oh Christ! So back on Dawngate, it had these smaller maps. The 3-lane 5-person map had smaller maps, so there was more. It's sort of how Heroes of the Storm is now. The smaller maps and more emphasis on team-based objective and shorter games. So the games, most of the time, with me at least, they never reached past 25 minutes. Once 30 minutes was the end game, whereas LoL and Dota sort of reach end game
40 minutes
potential. Right? Well, 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
And about 50 to 60 minutes is where your carrier, hyper carrier is just going to look for that point to finish the game, ace, annihilation, wipe them out, whatever, and then finish. Where this was just, it's sort of like a tug of war, you know, where the team that was just sort of behind can still make it back, but you have to work together. You have to take the objectives, look for those opportunities. With League and Dota and Han, at least at the time, way too much emphasis on farming. That's what pulled me in. I don't want to spend spend an hour in game just to lose and just fucking losing my mind. So it had the story, it had the voice acting, it had the map, short games were awesome. And it had these characters that I really, really liked because they had unique kits, which is sort of a small point in the overall picture, but it's something that pulled me in. The problem with it though, is that it shut down. That's it. There was never any build up. There was no writing on the wall. Everyone was having a good time. There were no long queues. Nothing. It just one day we find out that, hey, we're shutting the game down. And not like fucking Infinite Crisis. Someone actually did come forward. It was what was his name?
Steve. I think his name was Steve.
Steve. He was like the
Steve Dawngate, I think was his name.
Sure. Steve Dawngate came forward, and he was like the general manager of a thing. You know, it wasn't just he front and center on our homepage, shutting down by anonymous, with no fucking description of why they're doing it. This guy had a long page of information. He put his face on it. He put his name on it, and he explained, we didn't like the direction that the game was going in, and rather than make something that we don't believe in and we can't put all of our effort and resources in, we're going to cancel. Which sucked.
You got your money, son.
No, they did a full fucking refund.
Really?
Yes. Regardless of how much you put in or when you were playing, everybody got their fucking refund back. And they got positive review. They got a lot of love. They got all these petitions being, oh, please bring back the game and support. And I heard a rumor that the developers of Dawngate are making a new game that there's no information out on yet. But there is sort of like a sign-up thing where you can have them send you something to your email for either a discussion or a forum invite or something. I'm not too sure. But to see them come back and make something that was as good as Dawngate or better it's exciting. I'm excited. But just that difference where you have these two games, one with a very big backing. You have Warner Brothers backing you. You have Turbine Studios developing the game. You have the DC license. And you have a following that already existed that love these characters going for you. And there's just nothing but just gaps in communication with the community. Just no patches. You're not listening to the community. Unprofessional. What is this? Episode 1. Come on. So I could hear you, yeah.
That's weird because the mic was muted.
Oh. We'll keep going.
So all right, we'll see what happens.
So you had everything going for you, and you went to complete shit. And when the shit hit the fan, you couldn't have the fucking respect for your fan base, the people that paid for the money that you still have, that you fucking kept, to come forward and say, "This is who I am. This is my name. This is what went wrong. Be honest with us. You're already gonna fuck us over, and there's nothing we can do about it." They never got enough petitions people are coming out with petitions for class action lawsuits and. I never signed one because I know they're not going to go anywhere. The MOBA community is not organized enough to have 5 people work together to complete a game. You're not going to fucking sue a company for your money back.
No, because the mobile community is because it's kind of like it's leaning more towards kind of like the esports scene where like it's competition. So like it's team within teams. So like for example, I think soccer is stupid, and if soccer did something and everyone's like, we need to take soccer down, I'm like, soccer's stupid, and I'd move on. And the Dota people and the LoL people, when you go, Infinite Crisis fucked us, they would have gone, you shouldn't have been playing Infinite Crisis. You should have been playing LoL or Dota. Because,
Pretty much.
That's how they are. So, yeah, they're fuckfaces. Yeah, that one statement, broad strokes, the entire community. But, that's awesome that the Dawn Gate people did that, because it's important. Like when people do abandonware, it makes people not want to support games. Like I've gotten a lot of like links from friends I have that play games, and they'll send me the link like, oh dude, check out this game. Like, you know, you can get in early. This game looks awesome. There's this one game I was watching. You're a wizard, and like your whole thing is like, hey, I'm gonna go wizard places. And the controls were tight and everything was awesome. We're like, all right, support the game. I'm like, no, I know what's gonna happen. Like, you got a good 10-minute demo, and then what happens? Then I give you money, and what do? Take my money, and then what happens? I don't get a game? I'm not interested, dude. It's
Yeah, it's especially nowadays where, like, MMOs, MOBAs, I think pretty much that's all I can think of right now at the moment. But it's these games that are... You're spending money that you worked for. You did a real thing, and you earned an income. You use that income for luxury.
You did a real thing.
That luxury is a game that you like to play, but it's not a console game. Let's say, just fucking we lose internet or we lose power, but you can still somehow power your Xbox One, and you've got the CDs and you get your memory on the hardware, and you can somehow power it with like a generator pedal bike thing. You can still play your video games. You have that. If someone decides to stop developing a game or stop backing an MMO, all that fucking money I spent is gone. And this is another thing, just recalling from memory at the moment. Fucking Infinite Crisis. I spent maybe 3 days with customer service, and every day I got bumped up to someone higher on the chain until I was with a manager of customer service. This is what they did. They said, we're not going to give you your money back regardless of how much you spent or how long you played or at which point you joined before the March release date on Steam. And this is why. We believe that and this is the forum explanation from, Celestia and all her fucking shit shills doing crowd control said. Just fucking, they've got a script and they're just repeating the same thing. You can see it. They said that we believe that with the work we've put in and the time that it's been out, we think that you have had... I'm saying what you fucking felt and what you did and what you know and what you feel. So we think you have had enough time to enjoy what you paid for. Now, this is what I did. This is probably my fault. This is my fault for even fucking spending money on the game to begin with, but this is probably also my fault. I was one of those people that were a part of those massive dips because of the lock mapping. And this is because I don't like territories. I don't like to run around in a big circle playing territories. I like to be a jungler on a 3 or 2-lane map, support my lane mates, and sort of have that sort of element of surprise. Territories doesn't have a jungler. Yeah, it has jungle mobs, but that's sort of to supplement the wave and territory experience and monetary gain. So that's just my playstyle. So if there wasn't jungle, I wasn't playing, bottom line. I went to go play League. I went to go play other games that just aren't MOBAs at all. And when sort of the map came back around or there was these influx of players or a new champion got released, you'd see massive jumps in player base. And I came back. And I would play and then leave again because there would be some ridiculous, maps. Oh, this week we're going to play the other one that you don't like. Fuck you. Why not?
The other one we don't like.
Then I would leave again. So I spent, and then like they made that massive push they released the founder packs, and then a couple of months later, they did the release on Steam. So I bought the Founder Pack because it had a lot of champions I didn't own. $100, and you got the champions, you got icons, you got in-game currency. I think IC coins is what they were called. And then I stopped playing again. And then I came back, used my IC coins, bought a new champion, Green Arrow, new AD carry. He's really good. He's got all these attack modifiers and attack resets. And, oh, that's really competitive. He's got to be tier 1, right? So you go in, you play some, and then there's massive dips, and you're waiting 20 minutes to play one game. Maybe longer. Okay, I'm going to go play another game. I'm leaving. And then in the middle of one of my hiatuses, I see that forum post on a completely unrelated website about IC shutting down. And I go, nah, that's some troll bullshit, right? This fucking guy, he didn't know what he was talking about. In denial, knowing that I've spent so much money in this game and not enough time. So I go on, and it's true. And I feel fucked. And I immediately jump on that forum frenzy, where I learn all the problems people are having. No one's getting refunds unless you bought on Steam, regardless. And the refund thing sort of leads me back to where I originally started, customer service. What they tried to do was give old fucking Batman Arkham games that everyone already owns. You already have the mansion one and then the city one.
Asylum
and
City. Yeah. Okay, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. And then there was Arkham Knight. No one talks about Arkham Origins. That never happened.
Okay. This was in between City and...
By the way, huge DC fan over here.
A huge DC...
Huge DC fan of Batman and Friends.
I'm a little emotional about losing money. And, 2 games I actually enjoyed playing. So, certain things are going, certain things are coming. But this is what they did. They said, all right, this is what we'll do. We'll give you a key code on Steam for Arkham Asylum. And I go, no. I spent $200 fucking on a game that I played for maybe a handful of hours total. Tops. Maybe. And they've got to be able to track how much time people are spending on their accounts, right? Maybe? I don't know. I'm not a game developer. But I got bumped up. This guy's saying, okay, we'll give you Arkham Origins and Arkham City. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. I want my goddamn money back.
That, by the way, is the same game, except one has far less compelling villains.
And then I got bumped up again. And this guy's like, all right, so if you already own the games, how about this? We'll give you some merchandise. So we'll give you some T-shirts. What do you... At this point, this slimy motherfucker's like, all right, what do you want? I got a fucking cup holder. I got a shirt with Batman on the front.
I got a koozie. You want a koozie?
I got a fucking little propeller cap. You spin it. It's like a batarang. You fly away. Get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, what? I want my fucking money. The game is gone, you piece of shit. I paid for a thing. I want access to that thing. Give me my money or put the fucking servers back up. Bottom line. And maybe I'm wrong.
No, like I feel like an easy way for them to have like been able to escape that is to just allow local hosting. Like like you could just go, oh, we don't have dedicated servers anymore because we can't support it, but you could support it on your bandwidth, and then just leave it be like at that.
And
like
let it die.
Yeah, and then let it die like slowly on the side. By the way, DC, I'm full of good ideas. Hire me. Just DC. Just anytime you guys run into this trouble, I won't tell you to sell the Batarang propeller hat. I'm telling you guys,
Google that. If that doesn't exist, we gotta fucking.
We got patent, right? Patent pending. Batarang propeller hat, beanie cap, patent pending. There we go. We got it, bro. We got it. They can't steal it.
All right, right on,
patent pending.
That's right. It's on video.
That's how that shit works. So
going back to what you said about letting the game die.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Up until the point where they said, "Hey, we're shutting down the game, but we'll leave it open for 90 days and make all the heroes free." Thank us. Thanks us. Please. With all we've done and all the money we've taken, thank us. This is a privilege. But we saw through Q&As and blogs from developers, things like that. They had a lineup, several characters long, with different variations and the levels of doneness. Like they had Dexstar, the fucking Red Lantern cat. They had Arcane Superman. They had Deathstroke. They had, I think, a Robin variant of some sort. They had I think they had just released Solomon Grundy and then canceled the game. So they had been they were working on all these things, and then it just seemed like they met with fucking WB or whoever their backers were and said, "Listen, this isn't going well. We're pulling the fucking plug." And they said, "Okay, here's your script, everybody. Get out there, do some crowd control." And then, people like me are fucked. But this is why I'm bringing this up a year later. Like I said before, people are not fucking talking about it. And if this is the track that gaming and just the industry as a whole is taking, this is a fucking problem. Where it's just okay to accept thousands of dollars and then not put up.
Well, it seems to me like if we're gonna do it, but we're gonna get a nice koozie in exchange for it to keep my beers like
a koozie.
Nice. I mean, I'm good if they give me like a nice doily, like a Batman and Friends themed doily. That would be.
You checking that out, man?
Yeah.
You peeping the fucking
Captain America, Incredible Hulk. Yeah, dude, you're a huge,
huge
DC fan.
Fuck you, DC.
Biggest DC fan ever.
Where's my Marvel MOBA? By the way, these are only on, so I don't like to wear clothes at home, so I know it's gonna be on camera. I had to do it up nice.
Put some pants on there. I don't know. There's not a lot of Marvel MOBA, but the mobile market though, it's getting very saturated. Yeah. Just like it's going, like I was saying earlier, it's going the way of the MMO. Where it's just like oh, here's $1 million, like you can't sustain, like I haven't played Elder Scrolls Online in forever. Like I didn't even get to endgame in that. I mean, I don't know how many expansions I'm behind at Rift, but you picked WoW back up, right? For the thing.
For the Legion.
So let's talk because it's about time to wrap up. So I just want to wrap up. In conclusion, the people who made Dawngate were awesome. They were creating a great game, back to us. And when they decided to abandon that game, they gave everyone their money back. Good for them. The people who made Infinite Crisis should be shot in the face.
Kill yourself.
With a water gun full of bull semen. Yeah, we'll go bull semen. It's gonna have to be a specially modified gun because that stuff's thick. It doesn't come out like water, but it doesn't matter. You can just put it in whipped cream cans and then just cover their eyes with it and then punch them in the face. Because they stole money from people. They stole money from people.
They didn't steal. They provided a service, and if you didn't take advantage,
nope. Because this is my Destiny argument. This is my Destiny argument. When I bought Destiny, right, and I got the two expansion packs. When they came out with Season 2 of Destiny, they locked me out of the content I paid for, and they put it behind a paywall. I paid for something, and they took it away from me. They didn't say, hey, now you can just play your shit by yourself with no one else because you don't want to buy the most updated version. I could live with that. That's why I'm telling you the solution is local servers. The solution is like, all right, guys, we're going to stop producing the game, but if you guys want to keep playing, we're going to release a patch where you can host locally. So if you and your fucking buddies want to play with bots, you guys can do that and still get to be 5 Batmans on one map. But you can't just take it away when you so they stole money from you. They stole money. They're thieves. They're fuckfaces. Bull semen gun takes care of all of those problems. Because I feel like that's worth $200 to watch someone get covered in bovine goo and then
I have to pull the trigger
in the nose. Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
All right, that seems fair. But it might not be a trigger. It might be like a big pump.
Like a okay.
Yeah,
I can do
like one of those maneuvers there. But games that we're playing right now, I've already sucked Elite Dangerous off enough, my previous ones, but I'm looking to pick up Starbound and Alien Isolation, which are on sale on Humble Bundle right now. Also, Talos Principle, who is on sale for $10 right now, and it's going to be real hard for me not to pick at least one of those games up. And also, Darkest Dungeon, which I've never played, is also on sale on Humble Bundle. So I need more monies. But that's probably where I'm going to be headed soon. That's the tunnel. That's the old wormhole that I'm going down. I'm still not done with Shadow Warrior, but it's because I've been playing Elite Dangerous instead of Shadow Warrior. Because I think Shadow Warrior is only like 12 hours long. I think I'm about 4 hours into it, but I keep getting distracted. But you start playing WoW Legion, right?
Yeah.
And the preview for it was awesome.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you.
And I was like,
Blizzard,
yeah.
they can fucking make cinematics. They can just make their art department is fucking incredible. Art and music, best parts of them, honestly. But yeah, I got sucked back into it. I got sucked back in, and then my wife said, "I'm not playing. It's not interesting." And I sucked her back into it too. So I'm not doing this crack by myself, okay?
Yes.
I gotta get my pregnant wife into this too.
So you guys are gonna go up. You guys are gonna hit the level cap, do the end game stuff, and then you guys are done again.
Well, it depends. I mean, with the baby, we're having a baby, obviously. So with the baby on the way, it's going to be a really casual approach for me and probably non-existent for her. But where it's going right now, it's interesting, but it's too soon to say because I got tricked before. Last X Pack was a fucking nightmare. Just absolute disaster.
The Jack Black expansion.
No, you're out of the loop. It was the Orc expansion.
Wait, there was something after Panda Man?
Yeah. It was, it was called.
I'm gonna go.
It doesn't matter what it's called. I'm not plugging you. Basically, it was all about this idea that you were the commander of your respected faction. So the other players really don't exist, but you were the commander and you lead everybody. But there was way too much emphasis on your base, which is kind of like an in-game house, except you don't see anybody except NPCs. So everybody spent their time. Everyone was in their own base, the king of their own castle, and the kingdom is empty, and nobody's outside doing things. Everybody's in there or raiding. And I'm not going to get into it now. Let's focus on the positive. Legion, too soon, but it looks good. The direction looks really good. There's a lot of emphasis on they're adding profession quests. You have a quest for mining. There's a story behind mining now, if you can believe that. You know?
They've had those before. They have had them.
Well, not like
other
this.
Games too.
Well, not in WoW's history. There was maybe just go collect some things and I'll make you a nice thing. There's actual lore behind the professions, behind every class. And since they took the old class quests out, this seems like a good replacement. Something to strive for. Good campaigns, world quest. It looks good, but like Scott, if you're having second thoughts, maybe hold off a bit.
Yo, Scott, my brother just told you what you're like. Anyway, this has been Space Chicken, the Brothers Edition. We'll be doing more of these as we start rotating more correspondence through. Also, look for a few more Let's Play videos. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But anyway, this is Space Chicken out. All right. You found him, clearly.
It's a little lopsided. Should I put some mustache wax on before we start?
Some pomade? Some pomade for the stash? Okay, I'm really glad you found the zoom button, but please unzoom.
I can't.